In today's video, we're going to talk about how to make an app that links with your website. You're going to have a hard time keeping the UX, messaging, and content consistent across your app and your website. Now, this is a killer for many business types such as e-commerce stores and membership sites. And everything's a lot easier if your app and site are synced. It'll be easier to build and you'll be using a lot of code and content that's already there. And then it's much easier to manage going forward. You essentially only manage one backend, which is your already existing website. The app and the website basically show the same thing, just with a few differences in the user interface. When you publish content, you only need to publish it once. And when you get orders or people sign up for a subscription or membership, it only needs to happen once. All logins, accounts, etc. are shared across app and website. It allows you to access the benefits of mobile apps while adding a limited amount of work to your plate. The first choice and the most comprehensive is to build a native app with an API that connects to your website backend. This allows you to customize every part of your user experience for the app user and retain what you need from the backend of your website, such as logins, order details, etc. However, be warned, this option is far from simple. Here's how you go about getting this done. First, you need a pair of developers to work on building your mobile apps. Why two? Because iOS and Android apps require different development frameworks. iOS apps are built in Objective-C or Swift, while Android apps are coded in Java or Kotlin. In all likelihood, you'll need separate teams working on each app. Now, this is for the front end. You'll also need your development team to build an API that allows your apps to communicate and share data with your website. Now, this is possible, but somewhat tricky and definitely requires you to have competent developers working on your project. Now, is this a good choice? Well, in short, it gives you the most control over your app experience, but it may not be worth the hassle. Now, some of the advantages of this approach is you have full control over how your apps look and behave independently from your website. And building natively allows you to utilize mobile device features such as cameras and GPS. Now, some of the disadvantages are you can expect to pay a lot for this. The average salary for Android developers in the US is $108,000 and $128,000 for iOS developers. Factor this in with the complexity of the project and you're looking at 5 to 6 figures. Even for experienced developers, native app development is no simple task, especially so for when you factor in building an API on top of it. You probably won't have a finished product for at least 6 months. This leaves you with several individual platforms to maintain. While the API allows you to share some data, you still need updates and bug fixes for each app on top of your website. The second choice is to build a hybrid app instead of a fully native app. The hybrid app serves as an extension of your website in a form that people can download from the app stores and access directly on their mobile device. Now, this is usually done with something called a web view. Web views are essentially a dedicated internet browser within an app that shows a live view of website content. Your app will have the shell of a native app, but with the same content that's on your website. This is the simplest way to make an app that links to your website, and that's because the app is your website. Hybrid apps, particularly WebView apps, have had a bad rap in the past for being slow and or providing a substandard UX. But modern WebView apps are very difficult to differentiate from true native apps, as these hybrid app examples show. Let's check out some of the pros and cons of hybrid apps. Some of the advantages of hybrid apps is it's using web views and it's going to take a lot less time to build and launch your app. You get to completely convert your website to mobile apps. You can guarantee a consistent UX across each platform. It's also much easier to maintain as changes on your website update automatically in your app. Now, some of the disadvantages are you don't have as much freedom to customize your app experience. You might lose a little in terms of performance, though modern hybrid apps generally run as fast as your website allows. Now, if you want to build an app that links to your website, recreates the user experience from your website, and updates when your website does, well then Mobiloud is the best option for you. It takes less than $1,000 to launch an app this way, and just a couple of weeks development time, compared to 5 to 6 figures and half a year plus if you build an app natively. All you need to do to get started is book a free personalized demo call with one of our app experts. We'll discuss what you want to get out of your app and walk you through the process. And after that, it's a simple process to launch your app. You just sign up for Mobiloud, configure your app, and pass it on to our team and wait. Once you test it and you're happy with the final product, we'll ship the final version and submit it to the app stores for you. If you're interested in learning more about Mobilog, take a look at the links in the description. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you got some value out of it. And as always, my name is Jamarco, and I'll see you in the next video.